Chapter 15, question 18, or exercise 18, says, what is the function of the lipid bilayer in a cell membrane? All right, well, you have the inside of a cell, which is mostly water. That's inside of a cell, and that's polar. And then you have the outside of a cell, which is also mostly water, which is polar. Outside of the cell. So polar and polar, like dissolves like, those two would mix, and the cell would not exist. So you need something to go in between them to prevent those two from mixing, and that is the lipid bilayer. Now we'll talk more about what they mean in terms of the structure by bilayer in question 19. But for question 18, they just want to know what that lipid bilayer is doing. Now keep in mind, that's a lipid, and so it's nonpolar. Water will not mix with the nonpolar lipid, either inside or outside the cell, and that lipid is able, because it won't mix, the lipid is able to separate the two waters. So here you could say that the lipid bilayer in a cell membrane separates the polar, separates the polar intracellular fluid from the polar extracellular, outside of the cell, fluid, which would otherwise mix.